Hello everyone, DJ Gez here. As you know, I made a few videos now explaining how to DMX control, and I've had an issue with a bunch of people commenting saying they've watched the videos, but then they ask me questions, and I'm like, well, if you kind of knew what I was getting at with the videos, you would have been able to, answer the question. So I was thinking to myself, what can I do to make the video even easier to understand? And I thought about it for a while, and I figured out the solution. A whiteboard! That's right, we're going full engineering explain in this video. So to start, here is the DMX controller, and as you see, it has 8 channels. Channels being these little slider things that go on. Ignoring everything else for now, just the channels, pretend that I have a controller, a mega controller, that has 512 of these channels. Well, the way you program it, if I had these 4 lights, so my first light is a DJ Scan 250, and it has 4 channels. 4 channels being, the first one is for pan, horizontal movement. Second one is for tilt, which is your vertical movement. Third one is for color. And your fourth one is for gobos, or like the shapes that it makes. So what I'm going to do is, if I'm programming this controller, I'm going to say that my first 4 channels, I'm going to make those my first fixture. And this fixture starts at channel 1. So my starting point is going to say channel 1. And the way you do this is on your light, when you go into DMX mode, it's going to ask you for a number. That's what the number is. It's saying at what point on the controller do you want to start looking for channel values. And then it's going to also go this number of channels that it can control. So this light is going to say I'm going to start looking for information from the DMX controller, starting at channel 1 and going 4 across. So from channels 1 to 4 on this one. So when I go to my second light, which is my DJ Spot 250, that has 6 channels. And I want that to start at once the first light is done. So I'm going to start here and go 6 across. And this is my second fixture. That one starts at channel 5, which is here. Because the first 4 are taken up by the first light. So channel 5 is my starting position for this light. Now I have 2 triphases. Both of these are 4 channels. And so I'm going to say that the next 4 go to my third light. And then my next 4 are going to my fourth light. So we'll get at starting positions. Remember, 4 and 6 were taken up for the DJ Scan and the DJ Spot. So channel 11 is this starting position right here. And channel 15 is here for this light. One thing you could do to trick here is, let's say my triphases, I like them to run together. They're identical, and I always want them to do the same thing. What I can do is I can say, you know what? I'm going to make this an 11. And what that'll do is that will scoot over this light to here. So now when I run channels 11 through 14, it will be running both of these lights together simultaneously. So now people might be asking, okay, this is great, but my controller does not have 512 channels. It only has like 8. Well, what's going on here is they're not going to make a controller that has 512 channels. It would be huge, it would cost a lot, no one would be able to fit it on their rig. So what companies do is they say, you know what, we're going to split up the channels and put them in fixtures with page numbers. So if I'm in fixture 1, page A, what that means on my mega mixer, my mega controller, is that if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, this is fixture 1, page A. Exactly what I showed here. Fixture 1, page A. If I want to get to the next 8, I go fixture 1, page B. Then my next page would be fixture 2, page A. So I'm going to show here. If I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you get the gist. So this one's fixture 1, page B. A, B. Fixture 2, page A. fixture 2, page B. Let's go one more too. So obviously that's fixture 3, page A. So now let's say, okay, I have these 4 lights. I want them to correspond to this controller, and I want them to be these fixtures here. Well, all I'd have to do then is say, okay, for the first one to be on fixture A, page A, it's going to be in the same position. It's going to start at channel 1, and it's going to use up 4 channels. So that would be channel 1, page A. It would be these 4 right here. So then let's say I want a DJ spot 250. I want that one to still be on page A, but I want it to be fixture 2. Well, now you got to say, okay, I want fixture 2, page A, right here. I want that to be fixture 2. How do I get it there? Well, now my starting location has to change. So I used up 8 channels for fixture 1, page A. I used up another 8 for fixture 1, page B. So now to get the fixture 2, if let's say this was 16 to go from here to here, this one is starting at 17. And then you do the same thing for your triphases. Wherever fixture A or fixture 3 starts, that's what this starting position would be right here. One thing that you can do to cheat that I do quite often is I say, you know what? These are identical. I don't want to have to take up 2 fixture buttons for them, like 2 and 3. And they only use 4 channels. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say the first triphase here. That's fixture 3, page A. Uses the first 4 channels. My second triphase, make sure you're still recording. My second triphase is going to be the second 4. So what I'm going to do is say wherever this starting position of this triphase is, I'm going to go 4 more, and that's going to be my second one. And that way I can go on fixture 3. These first 4 here are for the first one, and these last 4 here are for the last. So looking at this controller again, we figured out, okay, this is what the fixtures mean, we know what the channels mean, and we know what this button means. But what's all the other stuff here? Well, looking at the controller, and again, the controller does not care what the lights are doing. The controller is going to put out information for, I put 512, my controller does 192 specifically. So my controller will put out signal for 192 channels, and then whichever lights are programmed to identify information from specific channels, they're going to register and broadcast out. My controller does not care what the lights are doing out there. So let's say my controller, I'm going to say just randomly, okay, I move this slider here, the second slider here, the third one here, bam, 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 and I just moved all these sliders. So what I'm basically doing here is like this first one was here, next one was here, next one was here. And I went through all the fixtures, all the pages, and I got things to where I want them. And again, don't have to do it for all of them. That's just an example. Well, I say, okay, I want the controller to take a screenshot of all the channels where they are, and I want him to save them. Well, you save it as a scene, and that's what's here. This button here is a scene that is just taking a screenshot of what all the channels are doing at a specific time. Notice I have 8 scene buttons. If you want to get more than 8 scenes, well, that's when you change your bank. So you see there's a button here that says bank, and you see it's changing. So bank 1 has 8. To go to 9, go to bank 2, and you get another 8. And then you get another 8, you go to bank 3, and so on and so forth. So now we know what the scenes do. And the way you program scenes is you hold program mode. And when you're in program mode, you can pick a fixture, move it about, and then when you deselect it, it's just going to remember that all of your channels for that one are in a specific location. So then when you go to the next one, you can move the next. So kind of like it freezes your channels, and it'll only freeze the ones that you move. Any ones that you don't move or just don't, like let's say fixtures like 10 through 12, you don't even touch those channels, it'll just leave them at channel 0 as default. So you don't have to actually go and program like 192 channels. So anyways, you're in program mode, you set your scenes, so now you have all these different scenes programmed in different banks. Well, what if you want to cycle through these scenes? So it goes, sorry, my camera stopped rolling, so I gotta go back. We're back to, yeah, if you have all these scenes programmed in program mode and you want them to cycle through, well, what you can do is you can go into chases here and you can program chases, and all chases are a sequence of scenes, and you pick the order in which you want them. So I'll maybe say chase 1 while I'm in program mode. I'll say I want scene 1 of bank 2, and I want scene 3 of bank 30, and I want scene 4 of scene 4, or sorry, scene 4 of bank 4. Let's say I want it twice. So you can duplicate. You can go like 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 5. And then basically, as you have the sequence of scenes that you like in a certain order, then that is your chase. And so you can run your chase. And when you're running your chase, you have two options. You can either do it manually. You can do it automatically with the timer. And that's what this speed spot is here. And if you want to add a fade to it, so rather than just going bam, bam, bam between your scenes, it'll actually fade them by slowly moving the channels from one position to the other. You can add this fade that you see here. Most of the time I don't use that. And then if you don't want to run it automatically, or you want to run it automatically, but you want it to go to the beat of the music, you can click audio here. And there's a little microphone here that as I'm tapping, you can see the scene is changing. And then the final thing, we've covered all the buttons. The only thing left is blackout. And all the blackout button does is it takes every single channel on the entire controller and pushes them down to 0. And then that just makes all of your lights shut off. So this is a more visual representation of what your controller is actually doing to control your lights, and I hope this was more informative than my previous videos. But if you guys have any comments or concerns, feel free to let me know in the comment section. But thank you so much for watching.